What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're doing the final recap of The Penguin, Season 1, Episode 8. And this is it. This is the episode everybody's been sort of waiting for. If you have friends like me, you had friends who were going on social media ahead of time with their hopes and wishes for the finale. The one thing that I saw that was pretty consistent was nobody wanted Kristen Milioti to die. Well, some things are worse than death. So, we'll see. We'll see how they, how they continue to use, her in the future, or if she's just going to be relegated to this series. So we got the Penguin. And it's still, I have to say, excellent audio description done by International Digital Center, Dakota Green, Ren Leach. Thank you so much for doing just banger work. It was such banger work this season that Variety covered audio description. What? Thank you? I think a whole lot of people were like, what is audio description? They clicked on it because like they had like maybe like the Penguin was like on their Google alert, and then they were like, what is this? Anyway, so yeah, welcome to my blind world. And if you just learned about audio description from Variety, so this is excellent. This is an excellent show, and I need at least 3 nominations acting wise for Colin, Deirdre, and for Kristen. Like those 3 for sure. I don't know what's coming out in the next year. The actor who plays Vic in supporting, like if somebody had to miss, I'm okay with that. Like that would be it for me. And there are obviously some other supporting actors, some downstream supporting actors that you could leave in or out. I mean, a lot of people sort of started off guns blazing at the top, and then as the series progressed, they got killed off. So I don't know who would end up getting here in supporting actor for them, but they have a lot of choices. But I feel like for supporting actress, I don't know. I love Shora Dashlu, but Deirdre is as Penguin's mother has got to be. I don't know who else gets it. Brilliant performance, and the final episode opens up with her, and we see she's being given that like red light therapy by Julian, and she's reliving her past, and we see that this is after her sons Jack and Benny, which is so weird, by the way. Was Jack Benny's middle name Oswald? Did she always know she was going to have 3 kids? Because Oz is the middle kid. And if you're trying to do like a Jack Benny thing, like you're a fan of Jack Benny, why are your oldest and youngest kids Jack Benny? And then Oswald is Oswald. It's very weird. Anyway, unanswered questions from the Penguin, which will never get answered because of how her character ends up. So she's spilling everything to Rex, who's like, I guess, the mafia guy at the time, and that Oz kind of looks up to. And it's revealed that she knows. She found the flashlights. I guess they found the boys' bodies. They had to pry the door open, all that kind of stuff. And she has this great line about, she's like, I have the devil in my house. And so she and Rex talk about, what to do with that and what to do with Oz. And he's like, well, there's some people who they grow up to do and they can be motivated to do great things. And she seems to choose which is, could you help me with that? Which is basically to have Oz killed. So the night that we saw that Oz remembers so fondly of him going and having a night on the town with his mom was actually supposed to be the night he got killed. And I guess she had a change of heart in that scene somehow and decided to do something else. And it really gives you sort of a different perspective on the whole, who created the monster. Well, no, the monster was already there. The monster was just, she didn't do anything to create him inherently because the other two sons were fine. He just kind of was that way. She mentions that she always knew he was really needy, but didn't know it was going to be to that extent, that he would actually just remove the other two brothers from the equation. And, so that he had her all to himself. And we pick up in the bar, Maroney's. Is that it? Or am I thinking of Kite Man? Malone's? I don't know. Too much bad shit in my head. Yeah, bad shit. And the penguin is sitting in a chair, and his mom is sitting across from him and tied up, and he's tied up, and he's gagged, and he's struggling, and this is a great scene for Kristen Milioti. She has such this power play over Penguin in this moment where she's controlling the moment, and she knows the history, and she's trying to get Penguin to admit to it. And of course she's already talked with the mom and everything, so they remove the gags, and he was absolutely, they have a finger, like a cigar cutter on his mom's finger, and he was absolutely going to let that finger get cut off until she revealed that she knew, which stops everything, because that was her whole thing. That was Sophia's whole thing, was to try to get the truth out in the open. And instead of Oz, who was absolutely willing to, and that's when, Sophia says in that moment, like, you don't really care about anything, do you? You were going to let her, you love her, but you don't love her that much, which is true. Like, he's like incapable of it. What his version of love is not actually love, because all he needed to do was say it and stop it. And he was going to let her finger is like actually like got a cut around it because she almost lost it. Anyway, so his mom gets up, and she gets to have this great speech while her son is tied to a chair about, him killing her two sons, his brothers. And then she breaks a bottle. And at that point, I was like, is this all for show? It was like 2 seconds when she broke the bottle where I was like, she's going to swing it, because she spits in Sophia's face. It's like, she's going to swing it and get shot. Like, she's going to try to make a play for, like, Sophia in that moment. But no, she stabbed Oz with the bottle. And then she kind of like staggers off, like she can see Jack and Benny, and then collapses. And that freaks Oz out and gives him like that mother strength that we hear of. Like, a mother can lift a car off of her baby if she needs to. Well, he, I don't know, shattered the chair, got up, killed random goons, and then, he flees with his mom while being shot at by Sophia, who was protected by Julian, who got her out of the way just in time. And he's free. Like, he got out of there. And we also see, sort of around the same time this is happening, Vic is looking for where Penguin was supposed to be, and he sees the giant hole in the ground, and he thinks Penguin is dead. And obviously the gang is like, well, if there's no Penguin, what the fuck's the point? So, like, nobody wants to stand with Vic anymore, especially, like, Donnie Boy. And there's this other character, Link, or something like that, that seems to be sympathetic to what Vic is saying, but unfortunately he's not in charge of a gang, so he has to just, like, slink away, which Vic later brings up. He's like, I think, like, Link would listen to us, which, of course, is... I was like, who is Link? where did he come from? Anyway, um, so uh, Penguin gets out. He takes his mom to a hospital, and then he leaves her there because he has to go finish things. He staples his own stomach, which sounds incredibly painful. Vic finds him. They go and have. They go. Vic has a plan, and Oz goes to City Hall and he talks with the dirty commissioner that put the lights back on for him and sets up his plan, which you can tell, is blame the whole thing on Sophia, and that the commissioner should use this to, the city councilman should use this to boost his own profile. And of course, the guy's like, well, what do you want? He's like, I don't know. I just want to be welcome in here from time to time. I just want to be, and he's like, well, you got to be seen respectable. I mean, she's putting together a task force to end corruption. That always goes well in Gotham, by the way. I'm sure that's going to work like gangbusters for her, literally. So, but we we get through that scene, and then Link comes and he's like, you're coming with us, which makes it look like it's a kidnapping, but it's really not. It's just like sleight of hand. It's this thing that Vic has worked out with Link, where they take him to Sophia, who has in the meantime taken all of Penguin's people, since she has nobody, because Penguin keeps killing all of her people. And it offers all those gangs and says, I'm leaving. This could all be yours. Who wants it? Whoever brings me the Penguin, gets this. And it shows Link, and he's like, why? He just says, like, why? He's like, I don't believe you. Why? And why would you leave all this? And I loved her answer, because I can. And in many ways, it was like she had already sort of lifted up her lieutenants, because she realized with Penguin, part of his thing was that he felt like he was never going to be a made man. And so when she took over her family, she lifted up all those people who were never going to be made and made them. So she's doing the same thing here. But unfortunately, these are all like gang leaders who have underneath them lieutenants. So she really needed to get to not invite the leaders, but the lieutenants who are all looking for their shot. And so Link has that question, and it's the one time where it's like, you think she knows, but it's like, from her perspective, you're right, you can, because you're rich, because you're wealthy. Not everybody can just pick up and leave and like move to another country. It's not that easy. It's not something you can just, and especially considering she burns her house down and it just only takes like some clothes. She just, yeah, which doesn't look great for her, by the way. I'm sure that didn't help her case of insanity, which ends up landing her in Arkham at the end of this episode. But, yeah, burned down own house. Definitely guilty. So, yeah, it all leads to Penguin one-upping Sophia. He takes her to a bridge, makes her think he's going to shoot her in the back of the head. And we see that, there's this power thing that's happening because Link had helped, and Link had got the leader of his little gang killed. But all of the other gangs are all killing their leaders. So they're all like leaderless now. And they're all under Penguin. Like, Penguin is now giving them all the shot. He was not the leader, and now he's inviting a whole bunch of people who are not leaders to, be seen. And that's because they see that that's what he did for Vic. Vic is sort of like the poster child for somebody who really shouldn't be in power, but is. So they all think that could be them. Like, oh, maybe I do have a fair shot. Maybe nobody's going to yell at me anymore, which makes kind of the final scene of this heartbreaking. And I knew it was going to fucking happen too. I knew it was going to happen. So there are two things I haven't mentioned yet. The one is he goes to visit his mom in the hospital, and God, Colin Farrell's terrific in this scene. He loses his absolute fucking mind. his mom had a stroke and she's like in a vegetative state, and she doesn't move. She just she's there and her eyes are open. So he's achieved everything. He beats Sophia. There are no more crime families in all of Gotham. He's actually been more of a gangbuster than anybody else, really, when you think about how much crime he's gotten rid of in 8 episodes. And I mean, he's replaced it with his own, but he did eliminate a lot of criminals. So, and a crooked cop there at the end. So, yeah, I mean, that nurse, yeah, walked in wrong time. But what a great scene for Colin Farrell, and such a horrible fate for his mom. But you know, I mean, she had literally expressed in another episode that she didn't want to lose her dignity, and of course, because he doesn't love her the way, you know, he loves the idea of her, he's gonna keep her alive and shitting herself, basically, with like 24/7 care. At the end of the episode, we see her and she's got she has no dignity left. She has nothing. She's just in a vegetative state. But she got the penthouse that she asked for. She's looking out the window, you know, over the city, and she can't do anything. She's just stuck in bed. And I think there was a little thing in the audio description that said like a tear rolled out of her eye, which I don't know if she's in like the kind of vegetative state where she knows, which would be even more like, what kind of hell are you in, where you're literally trapped in a body and you can hear and see everything, but you can't move at all. What even worse? Like, I interpreted that as even like a worse thing that Oz is doing to her, because it's different than just keeping somebody on life support. Like, that tear suggested that she was aware of everything. And I was like, oh my fucking God, this series. So then we get to the really like the only major death of anybody that anybody would have cared about. I don't think anybody was like, oh man, I hope Donny Boy makes it out. Like, the only significant death in this was Vic. And as soon as he starts talking about family and brother, I was like, oh God, no, they're going to do it. No, they're going to do it. And they did it. And it was in an even more heartbreaking way, because he doesn't like, I thought Penguin was going to do it in a way, sort of like a Look at the Flowers. I'm a Walking Dead fan. You know, like, where he was just going to unexpectedly shoot him, find a way. No, he just fucking strangles Vic. He just grabs Vic and he's like, I'm sorry, you're a great person, I'm sorry, but I can't. Family, you know, it just drags you down. And he literally cares. He literally kills Vic because there's a part of him that cares about Vic, and he sees that as a weakness. And this is the person that we've seen can only care about somebody just so much. So he doesn't want even any of that in there. So it's kind of amazing that he has, at the end, we see May's alive and lives in, I guess, in the house now. But now her hell is that she has to pretend to be his mom. She's wearing like a wig and like the old clothes, and like they're doing and he like tells her what to say. He's like, tell me you're proud of me, you know, tell me I did a good job, that kind of stuff. He's looking for her approval, which is something that his mom actually touches on early in the episode. So what a brilliantly well done episode, brilliant series, fantastic acting all around. And I don't know how this is going to affect the Batman part 2 or Batman Folia do. I don't know how it's going to affect that, but Colin has been pretty adamant about his desire to never be in the Penguin costume ever again. He really hated it. He really hated putting on the makeup. But I think Colin is also the kind of person, a lot of people have said money, right? money is what's going to get him back. I don't think that's true. I think what Colin is chasing is clout. I think when you start handing him awards for the Penguin, that's when he starts going, well, maybe, you know, because that's the thing he really kind of hasn't gotten a lot of. Banshees of Inisherin was his first time getting an Oscar nomination. He's a terrific actor, and I don't think anybody would say otherwise. Um, but he's definitely been chasing clout for quite some time in movies. And I think what he looks for is a lot of what Oz looks for, which is the recognition for his work. Um, so if you want season 2 of The Penguin, you're going to have to throw some awards at him because he's going to have to start feeling like, oh man, I'm winning these awards? You know, of course I'll do it again. Yeah, definitely. I'll put myself through hell to win, to be recognized by my peers. That feeling of love and adoration and getting that trophy. I think honestly that matters more to him than a paycheck. I'm sure the paycheck is nice, but I have a feeling once he starts getting trophies, if he gets trophies. Now, if he gets snubbed, no Penguin. I don't even think he'll come back for the Batman Part 2. So you can go either way on this, Hollywood. You can choose. It's up to you. The power is in your hands. If you nominate him, he'll probably do the Batman. If he starts winning trophies, he might do a season 2 of the Penguin. If neither of those things happen, I don't expect to see him in the Penguin suit again. So, which is just a loss for everybody because this was creatively such a strong show. I love the audio description, I love the performances, and I had a great time watching The Penguin. And I'm sad that 8 episodes, but it was such a tight eight episodes, such a great series. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm giving The Penguin, both as a series and a series season / possible series finale, I'm gonna give it all an A. This is one of the best shows of the year, if not the best of the year. I'm saying that tentatively because I'm about to get into Silo season 2, and that was just my favorite show from its year. And if it has a stronger, even stronger, I'm gonna have a really tough time. Sophie's choice over here, but yeah. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.